Maisu Sweets, The Adventure of the Royal Wedding.
Vivify Studio Stories.
Once upon a time, there was a very famous sweet maker named Akbar the sweet maker. He owned a shop by the name of Maisu Sweets. Maisu Sweets was a very famous sweet shop of Britain, and the owner was a Pakistani-based immigrant. People from all around the world came to him especially to taste his sweets. Not even a single festival is complete without Maisu Sweets. One day, while Akbar and his employees are busy preparing sweets, a sparkling black limousine parks right outside Maisu Sweets' entrance. Two suited huge-build men step outside the limousine and barges into the Maisu shop. "Akbar the sweet maker?" questioned one of the men in suit. "Yes." Akbar the sweet maker replied. "You're talking to Akbar. Sir, we have a good news for you. Her Highness Queen Patricia has sent us here to ask a favor from you. You are hired as main dessert chef for Prince Henry and Princess Romania's wedding. As leaders of all the countries are invited to this event, one of the dishes that Queen Patricia, Her Highness, has asked for is of your Pakistani sweets. She wants all the various types of sweets to be made on that auspicious day. We need your approval for the order and your availability." Akbar the sweet maker is highly delighted and jubilant for the order he just landed. "Sure, it will be my pleasure," exclaimed Akbar. "Okay," exclaimed the men in black suit, handing over the invitation card and the ceremony details to Akbar. "And the advance check for his order." "Okay, Sir Akbar, need to rush, a lot of work pending. We'll be in contact from time to time and will inform you of the ceremony changes." Shaking hands, the men in black suit departed from the Maisu Sweets shop. Jubilant Akbar jumps in excitement and spreads the news in the street and neighboring areas. His friends and nearby shops' retailers congrats Akbar for the contract he just received. But neither did Akbar knew that hipster gang, the hooligans of the street, were secretly listening to Akbar the sweetmaker's talks and his excitement for the contract. Arvind, the leader of the gang, rushed towards Akbar. "Congratulations, Akbar Sahib, on receiving the contract," and started questioning him on the details of the ceremony and offered him his help for dispatching the order. Suspicious Akbar, and doubting Arvind's intentions, just tried to change the topic and answered him vaguely. "By the way, Arvind, this is my personal business. I don't like to disclose my personal affairs to strangers, and I would like it if you would just not question my personal affairs," snubbed Akbar. With that said, Akbar just vanished into his shop. About 1 o'clock in the morning, Akbar locked the main entrance of his shop and headed back home. Arvind and his hipster gang sneaked behind into Maisu shop. Arvind picked up a nearby brick and broke the door lock of Maisu Sweet shop. The hipster gang broke into the shop and started searching the shop for the invitation and the ceremony details and date. Arvind came across an old wooden drawer. Arvind broke open the drawer. "Gotcha!" exclaimed Arvind. Arvind's eyes gleaming in excitement seeing the royal wedding card. He quickly snatched the invitation card from the drawer. Arvind opened the card and Moto took pictures of the details. Arvind very carefully placed the card right back in from where he had taken it from and rushed out of the shop, locking behind the door. The next day, Akbar, with his usual routine, came to his sweet shop early in the morning and started preparation for all the day orders. By 11 o'clock in the morning, Akbar completed all his orders, and by 1 o'clock he packed the orders and dispatched them to the designated areas. Akbar was extra excited about the royal wedding contract and couldn't wait for the big day to arrive when all the royalties will be tasting his special made delights. Akbar wanted to be extra careful about each and everything that was going into the big order. He wanted all the ingredients to be of best quality. Akbar never wanted to take any risk with the royal wedding, for that he himself went to the farmer markets to purchase the best quality product. He bought the best food color and the best sugar brand. Akbar was in close contact with the royal kitchen chef, who guided Akbar on each and everything about the ingredients which the royals are allergic to and the quantity that will be required for the big day. But Akbar, unaware of the malicious plans of the hipster gang, kept on preparing for the big day. Akbar's excitement grew as the big day came closer and closer. Akbar and his team worked day and night to complete the order. The hipster gang was secretly watching all of this and planned something to disrupt Akbar's happiness. A night before the big day, the hipster gang secretly broke into the shop and encaged rats into the shop. Finally, the big day arrived. Akbar woke up early in the morning, and as they stepped into the shop, he was astonished to see rats everywhere in the shop. Akbar was devastated to see rats. He quickly grabbed the nearby broom and started killing the rats by the broom wherever he found them. Finally, Akbar succeeded in killing the rats and removing them. But Akbar did not know what was coming ahead as he opened the sweets boxes. All the sweet boxes where disassembled different sweets were placed in different boxes. Akbar quickly placed the sweets and arranged them in proper order, which furthermore delayed the order. It took an hour for Akbar to rearrange the order. After arranging all the sweets in the correct order, Akbar started placing them in the delivery truck. Late afternoon, Akbar's order was ready for the delivery. While delivering the order, Akbar's truck crashes with the nuclear petroleum truck that was planted by the hipster gang. The delivery truck explodes with a huge blast and all the sweets within the delivery truck scattered all over the avenue. Akbar got devastated and running out of time, and Akbar needs to find all the sweets and place them in his delivery truck and reach the ceremony on time. During his expedition in sweets search, he has to face some mischievous tricks by the hipster gang who are bending upon trying to ruin the name of Maisu Sweets and obstacles in order to collect all his lost sweets. During the explosion, some of the sweets gets covered in the petroleum, giving them a chemical reaction, hence turning some into magic sweets and some into poisonous sweets. Now, the next obstacle Akbar had to face was of distinguishing the poisonous sweets from the rest. After distinguishing the sweets, Akbar again en route for his destination. While on way to his destination, he once again becomes the target of the mischievous activities of the hipster gang. The hooligans change the road sign direction, which in result leads to Akbar's detouring from the track. Akbar's truck is lost in the jungle and he needs to get himself on the right track in order to reach the ceremony on time. After a half an hour of detouring, Akbar finds himself on the right track again. While on his way to the ceremony, he comes across a huge rock that has been placed by the hipster gang in order to overcome the obstacle. The rock needs to be removed. For that, Akbar takes the help of the nearby crane to lift the concrete slab. Time is running out and Akbar needs to pull himself together in order to save his brand's reputation. After removing the rock, Akbar embarks on the journey again towards the royal wedding. As the car speeded further ahead, Akbar's truck got stuck within the nearby carnival. Now, in order to get out, Akbar's truck needs to jump onto the trampoline in order to jump over the crowd. As Akbar crosses the carnival, he drives himself into the lost city ruin, where Akbar needs to combat a hybrid creature which has been unleashed by the hipster gang. After the combating, only then he can escape from the ruined city. After combating the antagonist creature, Akbar sits in his truck and en route on the journey towards the royal wedding. On his way, Akbar is misguided by a stranger that is placed by the hipster gang. The man on the road guides Akbar to the graveyard. When Akbar reaches the graveyard, the hooligans chain the gate of the graveyard. Unable to get out of the graveyard, Akbar finds himself locked. Time is ticking. Akbar gets out of the truck and runs towards the gate. Something is scribbled on the lock and it says that in order to unlock the gate, he needs to find a tombstone in which code is hidden. Akbar checks each and every tombstone and finally finds the tombstone in which code is hidden. Akbar rearranges the code and is unable to unlock the main gate. Akbar is racing against the time and he knows he needs to reach the wedding on time. Akbar reverses his truck and drives out of the graveyard. After getting out of graveyard, Akbar once again embarks on his journey towards the royal wedding. The hipster gang, constantly watching Akbar, thinks of another mischievous plan to delay Akbar's arrival at the wedding. The hipster gang place a huge block of concrete slab. Akbar, unable to see that due to the dim light, crashes his truck to the concrete slab, which leads Akbar's truck into the muddy swamp. Akbar's truck is drowning and in order to get out of the swamp he needs to consume magic sweets. The swamp juts out stones and the various types of sweets and Akbar needs to squash all the magic sweets in order to attain the attributes of the magic sweets. Akbar's truck starts to float after attaining the sweets and he is able to come out of the swamp. Coming out of the swamp, Akbar embarked his truck onto the bridge which lead to the royal wedding entrance. On the bridge, the hooligans tried to create hurdles by throwing the concrete containers at the delivery truck. At the end of the bridge located was the rolling castle. When Akbar reaches the castle, the royal chef quickly greets Akbar
and starts helping him in unloading the delivery truck. All the packed sweets boxes are taken into the kitchen from where the sweets are laid in the dishes for the royal wedding. The ceremony begins with Princess Romania entering the wedding hall in her pearl white gown, with Prince Henry waiting at the end of the hall. All the guests at the ceremony head towards the dinner hall where the dinner was being served. The dinner hall was filled with the laughter and the giggles of the guests, the cluttering of the crockery and scrumptious aroma of various dishes. Reaching the end of the dinner, Maisu Sweets, were served. The guests at the dinner enjoy the scrumptious desserts, including the sweets. After half an hour of the dinner, something strange starts to happen. All the guests at the wedding start yelping in pain. They start vomiting heavily. Even the groom and the bride start to puke. Her wedding dress that was to be talk of the town turned out to be a laughing stock. The people at the wedding were puking non-stop. The reporters and the media crew members captured the ceremony on the video camera and made the video viral on the social media. The wedding ceremony that was the new fad became a stooge for people all over the world. Seeing the royal couple puking live on air, people all over the world started laughing their ass off. Romania, bewildered at the situation at the ceremony, started crying out loud. The guests at the ceremony started murmuring about the food at the wedding and started rushing home due to their sickening condition. The groom started weeping and the bride wailing. On investigation, it turned out that the sweets that were served at the wedding still had petroleum particles in them, turning them toxic. Hence, whoever ate the sweets started having digestive problems, turning the much-awaited ceremony into a catastrophe. Akbar, how? Why, I won't leave you for this, yelled the newlywed princess. Prince Henry started running haywire in the wedding hall, astonished to see the world leaders at the ceremony dropping like flies. The hall that was echoing with laughter soon got filled with chaos and yelping pains of the guests. Emergency had to be called. The street of the castle were soon filled with the siren of the ambulances. The nurses of the hospitals rushed into the castle, and one by one the guests were transferred to the nearby hospital's emergency ward. Few of the world leaders died of extensive food poisoning at the spot, and others who were merely breathing were rushed to the hospital. There was chaos all over the world for the first few hours as news of world leaders dropping like flies spread. Countries accuse each other of killing their leaders. Longtime adversarial states start to gear up for war. In certain backwater countries, skirmishes commence as the power grab begins. In more mature democracies, vice presidents or its equivalents take office, still baffled by what just hit the world a few hours ago. Markets cripple at the chaos. In a few days' time, most of the world would become normal again. New leaders assume office or snap elections, either planned or held. Markets bounce back again. Some adversaries quickly came back to their senses again and stashed their toys back again. A few may well be in a state of war. Those backwater countries are for sure still in a state of civil war. The UN would have a hard few years ahead trying to mediate to multiple conflicts flaring up at once.